in the throat. That could kill her, right? And the WNBA, right? The people that run that league, if you're DiJonai here and you have a foul like that, I don't want to hear about, okay, that's a flagrant 2 and you get this sort of fine. She should be suspended for the rest of the season because this isn't, as you said, Tommy, a whoops. This is intentional. This was targeting Sophie Cunningham. And I don't care if the player is white or black. It does not matter. When you do this to somebody, this is horrible for the league. Obviously, this was done because Sophie Cunningham stood up for women, saying that men shouldn't play against women in sports because there is obviously a chromosome advantage, just like you see with steroids, a chemical advantage. And I'll leave it here. Serena Williams, I saw this clip just this week. 2013, she's on David Letterman when Letterman hosted the Late Show. And she was asked, would you play Andy Murray, who was a big deal in tennis, British guy in tennis? She said, no, I wouldn't. Andy asked me to do it. I would lose 6.
The court turned into a war zone tonight as Fever and Sky finally hit their breaking point. Months of bad blood boiled over into something nobody saw coming. Full-blown chaos. Live in front of the whole country. Every possession felt like a fight for survival, and basketball basics just went out the window. You could feel it in the arena. Pure pressure. Both squads walking in ready for war, not a game.
But DiJonai, if I'm not mistaken, it was you that whacked Sophie Cunningham on the head. You whacked the white girl on the head, and you got a consequence for it, right? You got punished for it. And then you broke league policy because you took to the internet and posted white privilege. And then you don't even know. The rules itself says, according to the 2026 WNBA official rulebook, an ejected player or coach must immediately retreat to the team's locker room, or leave the building entirely. However, because league policy prohibits players from using personal electronic devices or posting online until all post-game media obligations are fulfilled, they cannot use their phones while waiting in the locker room. And DiJonai Carrington, you used your phone while you was in the locker room posting white privilege. You used your phone while you was posting the next scheduled date where you play the Indiana Fever on August 23rd. And DiJonai, till this second, at the very time, it's 2:50 p.m. in New York right now. And up to this second, at the time of this recording, you have still yet to be punished yet, DiJonai. You have still yet to be punished. So DiJonai, please enlighten me. Where is the white privilege? Because
it happened early on. Sophie Cunningham grabbed the ball and took off on the break, eyes locked on the rim. She went up for the layup, fully exposed in the air, all her momentum carrying her forward with nothing left to protect herself. What should have been an easy 2 points turned scary fast, because right behind her, a defender was closing in, and it didn't look friendly at all.
So immediately during the game, right? During the game, DiJonai Carrington went to the locker room and tweeted,
Maybe upgraded, I think, to a flagrant.
white privileged. How in the hell is this white privilege when you assaulted a player? Sophie didn't touch you. How is this a race issue? Make it make sense. Because I am definitely confused here, guys. I mean, I am hella confused. How is this a race issue, bro? And then not only that, Sophie Cunningham speaks on the matter. So immediately after the game, y'all know the reporters wasted no time catching up with the soapster. And a lot of stuff did happen, and I did forget about the Caitlin Clark getting a technical. So Caitlin Clark is more than likely going to be suspended, bro. She's going to be suspended. So Sophie Cunningham was asked. Sophie Cunningham, in response to DiJonai Carrington posting on Threads,
The distance closed. DiJonai Carrington slammed into Cunningham, head and shoulders taking the brunt of it. This wasn't a shot contest. This wasn't a hustle play for the ball. Carrington threw her arm right into Cunningham's path, sending her off balance and sending the whole arena into shock. Cunningham lost all control midair, then crashed straight down onto the hardwood.
Arm gesture yelled at the scoreboard. She didn't even yell scoreboard. She really said, yeah, look at the scoreboard. She wasn't even screaming. Bumped into a referee accidentally. Like, I mean, come on. Look at the technical fouls Caitlin Clark is getting. And we are going to get into why Caitlin Clark is being targeted. Look at this. Was clearly bumped into a referee. And this referee took offense to it and literally called the technical foul. Caitlin couldn't believe it, right? And you would think like, okay, that's not that bad, right? But then when you bring up another incident with Natasha Cloud during the same game, if I might add, during the same exact game, Natasha Cloud was seen pushing this same exact referee with no punishment, with no consequence. In fact, shutting DiJonai's claims down that this is not white privilege. In fact, this is black privilege. Let's be real with ourselves. Shout out to Rose Rams, my guy, Black and White Sports. They're one of the realest in the space, man. Shout out to my guy. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him. If you're not, you're living under a rock. But look at this, man. Natasha Cloud pushing the referee. Oh my gosh. One more time, just in case you missed it. Natasha Cloud bumping the referee. You can clearly see she's physically putting her hand on the referee's ribcage, pushing her out of the way. And the referee's like, no, Natasha, stop it. This is so attractive to me. Stop it, Natasha. I'm supposed to be professional right now. Look at this, man. This is disgusting work, man. You could put hands on the referee's bodies, on her arms. And this is, guys, I could be wrong, but this is the look of love. I don't know. This let me know if I'm tripping. This is the look of love. Play Sade, kiss of love. This is the kiss of love, man. But when Caitlin Clark gets bumped by this same exact person, Natasha Cloud.
So clearly was a foul, was not called.
Insane, man.
Oh.
Insane. And now that I'm looking at it, Natasha Cloud gave her a look. Like, you gonna let her do that to you, baby? Natasha gave her a look. Look at this. After this, look at this. She threw Caitlin Clark into her and then stared at the referee. You cannot make this up, man. Natasha Cloud looking at the referee like, oh, you really gonna let that happen? Look at this. This is crazy, man. And then turns her head the other way. And the referee like, nah, I'm calling it. It was too much pressure on the referee. She didn't know what to do. So instead of not calling the foul, the referee said, oh, I'm going to call a technical foul on Caitlin. I got to do something. I missed the first foul. I have to do something. The referee must have just panicked because it's like, I can't help Caitlin. I refuse to. You know, it's not even helping her. It's just doing your damn job anyways. And then you want to see more black privilege, right? Because Paige Beckers, her skin color might be white, but she's treated like a sister. If I'm not mistaken, one of her parents might be black or something like that too, right? But neither here nor there. Let's look at Paige Beckers literally bumping a referee. Look at this. The music. I mean, look at this, man. Paige Beckers literally bumping into a referee. I don't know if this is a love bump. I don't know what it is, but it didn't get a technical foul, right? So once again, privilege.
Nobody expected the night to end like this, with a punch of controversy that hit way harder than any foul call. Cunningham hit the floor with a sickening thud, the whole arena gasping at once. And somehow, through all that chaos, the ball still dropped through the net for 2 points. But instead of staying down, she popped right back up, fire in her eyes, and went straight after Carrington. She shoved her hard in the chest, and within seconds, players and refs were scrambling to pull the two apart before things turned into a full-blown brawl. Play stopped immediately. Officials rushed to the monitor to break down exactly what happened. And when they watched it back, there was no gray area. The replay showed Carrington winding up, making hard contact, and following through dangerously close to Cunningham's neck. That was enough. The officials upgraded the call to a flagrant 2, and Carrington was tossed from the game right then and there, with the crowd roaring in disbelief. But here's the thing. The ejection was just the opening act. What came next turned this from a basketball story into something way bigger. Reports say that after heading to the locker room, Carrington broke league protocol. Under the WNBA's 2026 rules, any player who gets ejected is banned from using their phone until post-game media duties are done. Carrington allegedly ignored that rule completely, pulled out her phone, and fired off a message online. Instead of staying quiet or owning what happened, she posted 2 words, white privilege. And just like that, a physical foul turned into a full-blown cultural firestorm. By bringing race into it from inside the locker room, Carrington flipped the script, trying to paint herself as the victim instead of the aggressor. That post spread like wildfire. Within minutes, it was everywhere, and what started as a basketball incident exploded into a nationwide debate across every major news outlet and social platform. Meanwhile, when reporters caught up with Cunningham after the game, she didn't flinch. She stayed calm, stayed composed, and gave her side straight. She said the hit looked intentional, and she believed it was done for attention, to stir up buzz online. She even brought up her own past, reminding everyone that she'd been ejected before too, and when that happened, she simply took the punishment. No excuses, no blame games. Her message was clear: accountability in sports should come down to actions, not identity. That response lit a fuse of its own. National commentator Joe Concha went on air and didn't hold back, blasting the hit to Cunningham's neck as reckless and dangerous. He said a single game ejection wasn't nearly enough for a hit that could have ended someone's career. Concha pushed hard for a suspension that ran the rest of the season, arguing the league needed to send a real message before something like this happened again, and worse. Then the story took another twist. Some critics started suggesting Cunningham was being unfairly targeted, not just because of the foul, but because of her outspoken views on protecting the integrity of women's sports. To back that argument, people pulled up old footage of tennis legend Serena Williams admitting that top male players would simply overpower her physically. That clip got dragged into the conversation too, adding fuel to an already blazing fire. What had started as one violent play on the court had now turned into a full-on ideological battle, stretching far past the hardwood. Through all the noise, the Indiana Fever actually won the game, squeaking by the Chicago Sky 92-86. But nobody was really talking about the score anymore. The scoreboard had become the least interesting part of the night. Fans everywhere were furious, flooding social media and demanding the league finally step up and do something. And just when it seemed like the story couldn't get more tangled, another controversy surfaced from the very same game, this time involving Caitlin Clark. During the matchup, Clark got hit with a technical foul after brushing past an official. The replay showed it looked completely unintentional, barely even contact. Yet the referee handed her a penalty anyway, leaving Clark visibly stunned on the court. Fans immediately jumped on it, arguing the league's biggest star was somehow being held to a different, stricter standard than everyone else. Then things got even messier. Older footage resurfaced showing Natasha Cloud making direct contact with that exact same official earlier in the game. Both hands on her side, pushing straight past her. No technical, no warning, nothing. So here you had two nearly identical situations, and only one player got punished. That gap didn't sit well with anyone watching, and it reignited a much bigger question about whether officiating in this league is actually consistent. Critics didn't stop there either. They pointed out that established veterans seem to get away with contact that rookies or rising stars get flagged for instantly. And it didn't end with Clark and Cloud. Analysts dug up more clips, including one showing Paige Buchers making contact with an official without drawing a single call. Case after case kept surfacing of players touching refs and walking away clean, while others were hit with technicals for what looked like far less. Every new clip added another crack in the league's credibility, and fans were starting to wonder if the whistle was being blown based on who you are, not what actually happened. Just when everyone thought the story might cool down, Carrington threw more gasoline on the fire. She posted about her upcoming rematch against the Fever, scheduled for August 23rd, hyping it up online, with zero apology, zero remorse for what had happened. To a lot of fans, that wasn't just tone deaf. It felt like a direct challenge, proof that the tension between these two teams was far from finished. Right now, the league office is dead silent. No suspension extension, no fine on record, nothing official at all. And that silence isn't calming anybody down. It's doing the exact opposite. Every hour that passes without a statement, more fans are getting louder, more analysts are chiming in, and the pressure on league officials just keeps stacking up. The number of people calling for a full season-ending suspension is only growing by the day. And honestly, when you break it down, it's hard to argue with them. Think about what actually happened here. A player delivered a hit dangerously close to another player's head. Then, on top of that, she allegedly broke a clear locker room rule by pulling out her phone before her media obligations were even done. Two separate violations, back to back, in the same night. And if the league lets that slide with barely a slap on the wrist, What kind of message does that send to every other player watching? Because make no mistake, silence is still a message. If the WNBA doesn't address this head-on, it tells every player in the league, whether they say it out loud or not, that reckless, dangerous contact might just be something they can get away with. That's not a small thing. That's a precedent. And once you set a precedent like that, it's incredibly hard to walk back. Analysts around the league have already started sounding the alarm, warning that letting this moment pass quietly could open the door to more aggressive, more careless plays in the games ahead. Nobody wants to see the next hit be even worse, but that's exactly the risk when accountability goes missing. This isn't just about one flagrant foul anymore. It's grown into something much bigger, a real test of whether this league can actually protect the players wearing its jersey and whether it can hold on to the credibility it's spent years building. Because here's the simple truth at the center of all this. You don't get to throw a dangerous, reckless hit at another player and then dodge the consequences by tossing out a hot button, headline-grabbing phrase online. That's not accountability. That's a distraction technique, and everyone watching could see right through it. And that's exactly what makes Cunningham's response stand out so much. Look at how she handled it. She took a brutal hit, hit the floor hard, got back up on her own, and refused to let anyone pull her into a shouting match or a social media war. No inflammatory posts. No trying to shift the story. Just composure, straight talk to reporters, and a willingness to take responsibility the same way she expects others to. That contrast right there, poise under pressure on one side, a deflecting headline on the other, tells you everything about who actually showed real leadership on that court that night. So now the WNBA finds itself facing one of the biggest accountability tests this league has dealt with in years. This isn't a quiet, forgettable moment. Analysts are watching. Fans are watching. Players across the entire league are watching too, because how this gets handled will set the tone for what's considered acceptable going forward. Will the league step up, review the full picture, and hand down real, meaningful consequences? Or will they let the clock run out, hoping the outrage cools down and the story just quietly disappears? Whatever decision comes next, it's going to carry weight far beyond this one incident. It's going to shape how the league handles players' safety moving forward. It's going to shape how discipline gets enforced across the board. And it's going to shape whether players believe the rules actually apply equally to everyone, regardless of name or status. This is bigger than one suspension. It's about whether the league can prove it takes accountability seriously when the cameras are rolling and the world is watching. So now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Carrington should be suspended for the rest of the season? Or do you think the punishment already handed down is enough? Drop your honest take down in the comments below, because this conversation is nowhere near finished. There's still a lot more to come. And if you don't want to miss the moment the league finally makes its call, stick around, because that update is coming soon, and you'll want to be there when it drops.